I think it's safe and agreeable to say that everyone has their own way of learning things, whatever the topic happens to be. Some people learn mathematics and numbers better than others. Some people have a better knack for science. And some people have a talent for the arts and painting and drawing naturally better than others. And others spend a lot of time practicing to get better if they don't start out that way. And they develop that talent. And the same goes with memorizing lines for a script for a show or film. Granted, some people have a photographic memory, and personally, I envy that. It may be easier to look at a page of lines and just recall it from memory easier than spending a few days going over and over trying to remember it. But everything takes practice to get better at. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. And to develop that muscle memory, people develop their own methods. And the more time someone spends practicing something, the better they're most likely going to get at it. Now, that being said, you can also get into a bad habit of practicing and learning something in an inefficient or incorrect manner. And so it does help to be corrected on things. Now, there's no one set way to memorize lines. For some people, it works better to get it into their muscle memory by repeating the lines while they're going over their blocking, so they learn by repetition and visually. Others may learn audibly by recording themselves speaking their lines and listening to it over and over again in a similar fashion that you listen to a song. You get the rhythm in your head, and for me, it's easier to memorize a song because of that musical rhythm. Although, if you're performing in a musical, you have to learn a dance and choreography and blocking to go along with that song. Some memorize by covering their lines and looking at the cue lines before their part. Some people learn by writing their lines over and over again on a piece of paper. And some people learn lines just by reading it over and over again and thinking about how they're going to say it. But over time, things like that can change. Your brain changes as you get older. And the way you learn can change.
Even if you're just memorizing a speech for some big corporate event, even if it's that or if it's lines for a show, run it in front of somebody. I would suggest this big time. Run it in front of someone and stumble your way through. We all have that fear of messing up at some point. And if you say you have never forgotten one single line, you've never called for a line, you are a dirty, rotten liar. So don't worry if you do. Some days when I'm trying to memorize a script and I'm crunching the lines, going over it and going over it, and if I keep forgetting something, come back to it the next day. And a lot of the time, you'll know it. If there's a method that I listed that you never thought about, give this a thumbs up if it made you think a little bit. But it all comes down to preparation and how you choose to prepare your speech or your lines. It's entirely up to you. But leave a comment what works best for you. I'd like to hear. So once all that preparation is done, the end result's going to look pretty good. It's going to sound pretty good because this is a concert. So if any part of this video was the tiniest bit insightful, you know what to do. So that being said, be excellent, and I'll see y'all in the next one.